All right, thanks for joining us today. My name is Joey, and I work here at Fitness Finders with EasyScan. I'm the EasyScan coordinator.
And I'm Scott. I've either emailed you or spoken to you on the phone. And of course, I do customer service and sales here. So now you know the faces behind the emails and names.
All right, so as a company, Fitness Finders has been in the line of promoting and motivating good behaviors for over 40 years. In 1986, that's when Mileage Club was started. Of course, you set up your track the laps. Students were at first bringing in dried beans and then bingo chips, and those could all be replicated, brought in by the kids, so their lap counts weren't always accurate. Next, we went to our mileage marker cards, toe tokens, tally sticks, but
teachers still had to create all their reports by hand, which, as you know, takes a lot of time, especially if you have a lot of kids in there. You know, so have to pay attention to their benchmarks, their awards, etc. A few years ago, about 4 years ago, we created EasyScan, which will do all this for you at the touch of a button. Saves you time and money, counts all the laps, creates all the reports for you. You just have to scan the kids in. Last year, we scanned over 5 million miles. 5 million miles with EasyScan. And this year, we're shooting for 7 million with your help.
And some, just so you can know, well, why would I need this? Well, if you work with the before and after school, or your school does have a program, recess, fundraisers, fun runs, classroom brain breaks, PE classes, cross-country teams, girls on the run teams, even behavioral and attendance programs. The list goes on, but those are some of the most successful cases of using EasyScan.
And you can have, like you said, those are multiple programs. You can have that all in your same copy.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get started. You've bought EasyScan, now what?
All right, so we'll go ahead and share our screen with you. All right, so you'll get in here and you'll get in your email. You just bought EasyScan and you get an activation email. So you click inside, you see your code there, you've got your link to activate it at, and then below you'll see you've got some attachments that will send you just to help you get started. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this code and click on the link, paste the code in, put my email in, and give it a password. And click activate. And there we go. So it's going to take you right to your setup.
We do recommend that you use Google Chrome as your browser. EasyTally works best with Google Chrome. I am a Mac user at home, and I've got Chrome on my MacBook specifically for EasyTally. So please download that and use it. Google Chrome. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll make it work just the best it can. So you'll see you've got 4 setup steps here, and pay attention to the URL at the top, easymilegeclub.com/setup. If you get brought away from this, you can always go back to it and get back to your setup. First will be your school info. Don't worry about the number of enrolled students. You can come back and fill that in later. Just as a guess, I'll just put in 100 for now. And then, as you see I just did in these buttons, you'll hit next.
Mm-hmm. Now next, you're going to add programs. Program is the EasyScan name for the group, time period, or school year that you want to run. We're just going to enter 1 for now, but you can add as many as you like we said. So you can change the names and dates later if you want. Let's just click that Add Program button. And let's put a program in.
All right. So we've got our morning milers. And I'll give it a start and end date.
Even if you're not going to start your program till later, it's best that you start that date today. Okay?
And then we'll go ahead and set an end date for it.
Hit create. And there it is. Now you can use that program. And like we said, you can add more if you want. As many as you want. You want to show them how to move that next?
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and go next.
And here we are at courses. Now, as it says on the page, a course is the track that your students run. It can be an outside track, inside the gym, school hallways. We do have some teachers that actually have courses inside their rooms. You know, if their students have extra energy, they say, take a walk. Kids walk around the room, scan as they go around. They get laps for it. But you can have a track be just about anywhere you want it to be. A course. Add a name.
All right, so this will be our outside. Okay. And set your units next. And then it'll ask you how many laps per mile.
You don't have to worry about being super accurate with this if you don't know it yet. You can always go back and change that.
And this, for example, if you wanted to go back and change that, just go ahead and hit that pencil icon and it'll bring up for you can edit. And let's say I want to change my scan delay. And the scan delay is the amount of time that you will allow a student to scan their same card again. So if I came up and scanned my card and Scott was right behind me, he would be able to scan his card right away. But if I tried to get back behind him and scan again, it would block mine. He would be good to go. He'd be off and running, and I'd be getting there scanned too soon. And we'll show you that later.
Yeah, it's an anti-cheating device, just in case kids get a little over anxious about how many laps they want.
Like we mentioned, you can have more than one of these courses. So I'll do my inside one next and just say it's 10 laps. And there we go. So now I've got 2 different courses set up.
Okay, let's go to the next step, the classes and students.
All right, so it's as easy as copying and pasting. So what you're going to want to do is most of you will have either a class roster that you have access to, or you can get sent a list of the names. I'm going to go ahead and pull my list up here. So I've got first grade, Mr. Smith, and all I'm going to do is on this spreadsheet, I'm going to highlight these names. And I will copy, and I'm going to add class here, Mr. Smith. Teacher for now, I'm going to put none. And we know he's first grade. There we go.
Box doesn't want to get out of the way. It's different for us.
There we go.
Let's get that out of the way. There we go.
All right, and first grade. And there we
Great
go.
Class.
So now he's got an arrow next to his name.
Mm-hmm.
I can go ahead and hit copy and paste students. And there's my list. And in they go. So it's that simple. And you could just repeat the process, copy, paste. It'll be that quick for you.
Mm-hmm. Very easy.
And from there, that is basically your entire setup for EasyScan.
Hit next and agree to the terms of service, and you're good to go.
All right.
So next, let's look at the Edit My School.
And we're going to take you to one of our accounts that's already completely set up.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get here, we're going to also cover a special topic today, which is awards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as Scott was saying, we'll go into Edit My School, and you can see I've got my full account here that's all set up. I've got many programs in here set up. Go to Edit My School, and this will be kind of your general hub for everything once you have everything set up and you need to make edits or changes.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, you got all the tabs up here. Some of these we've covered. We covered Edit School. We covered our classes. We covered courses, programs. So these are all ones that we've seen already before. So let's go ahead. Let's do everything except for awards first. We'll cover that at the end of this. So do you want to go over to classes next?
Sure.
All right. So classes, if you have some that you did in your setup, they would appear here. You can see that if I went into the Fitness Finders class, I still have my copy paste students button. I've got my create student button. So I could go in here and type in a name if I needed to, add them in, or if I had another list, I could copy and paste them right in as well.
Mm-hmm.
You'll also notice that when you click on it, you have edit class info. You have delete class. If you ever had to get rid of one, you can delete it there. If you want to edit it, you can do that here as well. So for example, when I was showing you the class that we had set up, the teacher I had selected was none to start out. Well, let's say you do have a teacher that you want to assign there. You'll first go to the users tab, go ahead and add a new user account. So let's say this is Mr. Smith. And I would give him a level of access. He was first grade. And now I can go back over to classes, select the right program. Let me just go ahead and refresh the page. Got it doing too much, I think. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So now I would go back into classes. I would hit edit info, and then I would be able to go ahead and select Smith for the teacher there. All right, so that was classes. Do you want to go more over about users real quick?
Yeah, users are the people who you're going to allow to scan. Now, obviously, as the admin, you're going to want to have full access. And then from there, you're going to add other users. Now, you may not want every other user to have full access. The people who have full access can do everything in the program. You don't really want everybody to do everything because you're the one who's running it. Now, if you have a partner or an assistant and you want them to have full access, give them full access. If not, say you want to add in Mr. Smith again.
All right.
Okay. When we add him in, we'll have our level of access. Now, we would like him to be able to take care of his own kids. So we'll give him scan, view, and edit. That will allow him to work in his own class as scan, view, and edit. He can scan the kids, he can view the kids, and he can edit the kids, but he can't do anything else. There are a couple other levels on here. There's the next one is scan and view. And that means they can look at them, they can scan them, they can't edit them. And finally, the last one is scan only. And what that is really for is for when you have a shared user. Say parents want to come in and scan with you. You can give them that shared user account. They can scan all they want, but they won't be able to see what they're scanning. It's a privacy thing, okay? And it also allows them so they can't change their kids' scores or change anybody else's scores. They just scan, okay?
So let's go ahead and get that for you. So here we go. So we've got our shared user account button under users. And you'll just go ahead and give it a password. Everything else will be all filled in for you. Your email, the name, everything. You just go ahead and create them. It may just take a moment to load. Okay, well, that's how you would create them though.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just like that.
So we're all good there. Next we go to teams. And so let's say you have a team that you needed to segment their data from. So you could do, let's go ahead and these are going to be our hardworking team. And you can assign their teacher and hit create team. And now you can add students to it and it'll ask you which class to pull them from. And you have to have students in the class to pull them from. But once you did, you would just click the arrows or the check marks and they'll go into that team. And that's how you can set up teams where you can segment them as a group later on. All right, so next you want to go ahead and talk about awards?
Let's talk about awards. Here at Fitness Finders, obviously, we are all about awards. We're about our toe tokens, which you've all seen before. Let me kind of show you some here, pull some up. Now, the whole idea behind the awards is a thing called the theory of the token economy. And what that states is, heavy-duty college time here, guys, is that people will work just as hard, if not harder, for a token that they can share with people, that they can show off as they will for a paycheck. Now, this works wonders to motivate kids. It'll motivate adults too. But kids will go crazy for earning awards. That's why it is so important to give your kids awards when they're in Mileage Club. It'll keep them motivated. It'll keep them interested. They'll do more for you. At Fitness Finders, we have a whole series of awards, not just toe tokens, but we have educational, academic tokens as well, and chains or lace link lanyards. There's all kinds of tokens that you can use to award your kids. If you have questions about those, ask us. We'll feel free to show you. Okay?
Go ahead and show you
Now let's go back to the awards page.
our website. And
there's a website. Yep. First.
So here's our main page, fitnessfinders.net. You'll see all the awards listed here. And if you actually go down to the bottom and you can click on why this works, that will take you to why incentives works, and it will kind of go into more details of what Scott was talking about.
Yes.
And it just all shows how it's all a proven method there. But like Scott was saying, we've got our academic awards. So we've got our book charms and everything like that. And then one thing that a lot of people are doing now is our lace link lanyards, where they'll actually put their QR scan card on it like so. And then their awards go on it next, and it's a safe breakaway, and they can go ahead and get all their awards set up on that.
I'm going to give you a little hint about the lace link lanyards. As someone who used to run a mileage program and ran it with chains, chains are great, but if they happen to break, the tokens can fall off. On the lace link lanyards, the tokens don't fall off. You'll save yourself a lot of headaches and heartaches from kids if they don't lose their toe tokens if they happen to break a chain.
Exactly. We've even got some seasonal certificates that you can use. And then this is one of Scott's favorites, I know.
That is the Golden Shoe Award. This is something that we came up with a few years ago that was actually made for a specific student. And then it got out and people wanted it, wanted more of them. The kid had done, like 200 miles in a single year? One kid, 200 miles. He was, kindergarten? First grade. Just a little guy. And he'd done 200 miles in a single year. So we made up a special award for him. And it kind of caught on. You might want to use that at the end of the year for your high matters too. Okay?
And those are great because you can even write their mile count on it, their initials, anything like that. It's pretty fun.
It's fun, gets the kids moving. All right, let's go back and we'll show you getting those awards into EasyTally.
All right, so you can see we've got several names here of all of our awards. You can see Golden Toe Token. We've got our color certificates. If you have a new one that you want to add, go ahead and do it there. Let's just do star attendance for this one. You can see you've got a lot of toe tokens in there. That's our favorite. But we'll go ahead and switch it up this time and give them a star attendance for showing up so much. So that's how you would set up your award names in there. You can delete them, add more, and then next you would go over to your award levels and choose the distance that you want them to achieve that award at. So I'm going to go ahead and do it at 7, and I'll select my award, and it'll be star attendance, and I can save that. And now it goes right into my list here. And when they hit that 7-mile mark, they would get notified for my star attendance, and then also the other ones that I had set up previously, as you can see. You'll notice, I'll go ahead and just show you guys real quick. We've got our color certificates. These actually work with EasyScan. You can put these into your printer tray, and that will get set up where if you have on your screen here, certificates, and you do color, you can actually come over in the class sheet, which we'll show you a little bit more of, print, and you could go to certificates and print out their certificates for them all in color. So we've got many ways for you to award your students, and it is very important to keep them awarded. Some people change the lengths that they award them at, the intervals to keep them excited. You know, make it easy at first and then make it a little bit harder. You see interest is going down, I'll make it a little bit easier again, and they'll want to get those awards. It's just a continuous cycle of keeping them motivated. It's very important for your program.
It's all about motivation to get it moving.
All right, so let's go ahead. We gave you all the setup. you want to go ahead and show them how scanning works
Let's
now?
do that. Yep.
All right.
Let me get this started. Have my iPad here.
We'll go ahead and share our screen on the iPad.
Give me just a minute to catch up here.
All right.
All right, now we are in, and you can see this once you go to either the Apple App Store or Google Play and download the app Easy Scan 2. It's Easy Scan numeral 2. That's what you're going to have on your device to scan with. And this will be the opening page. Okay, so what you'll see start session, time session, sync now. That sync now is the most important thing you'll use. Every time you make a change in your database in EasyTally, make sure you sync your device. I would sync it right before you go out and then get in the habit of syncing right when you come in. Now, you do need Wi-Fi to sync, but you don't need Wi-Fi to scan. We designed it this way because not a lot of schools will have Wi-Fi outside or near their track. Sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't even work in the gym, if that's where you're at. So this way you can still scan and get all your data and not have to have Wi-Fi until you get back into your classroom, until you get back into your office, sync it, and all that data will transfer.
Exactly.
We also have practice session if you want to learn how it works before running your actual program. And we have settings. Let's check out settings because this is something you're going to want to do first off. Okay, we're on the settings page. Manage installed themes. First thing I like to look at. Click on that. You'll see there's a whole bunch of themes that we have in there. Again, these are motivational items for these kids. You have a pirate, we have a coach, just a lot of different things. And they will say, once they scan, they'll come up and say, I don't know.
Arg.
Arg. I'm blanking on that at the moment. That's how that works. The kids love it. I'm just going to cancel out of that for right now. Once you decide which one you want, you click on it here, theme. We're going to keep the pirate in. Okay, that's what we want. Next is our camera. How do you want the camera to work? Do you want it to be front camera or back camera? Well, we're going to use the front camera for now. The orientation, device name. Make sure you name your device. Otherwise, you're going to get a serial number. And if you've got, more than 2 or 3 of these devices set up, you definitely want to have a name for it, because otherwise it gets pretty hard to track who's using what. Mm-hmm. And this way you can always tell. You can say, okay, well, Scott's iPad wasn't synced. We know which one is Scott's iPad. Grab it, sync it. Orientation is either horizontal or vertical. I kind of like to have mine horizontal, as you see here, but if you want it vertical, you can do that too. And then the program, obviously, is what program you're using. And you can check that in the next one too. And when you're done with that, you can hit Save Settings, and you're good to go.
All right.
All right, now let's go back. We're back at the front. And let's go ahead and start a session. So we'll hit that Start Session. Which course do you want to use? And you see we have a whole bunch of different courses in there. We're just going to stick with, let's do Indy today. All right, we clicked Indy. We are ready to start scanning. And there it is. Now the kids will come by, and the kids are pretty good at figuring out how to do this when they figure out where they need to be. Sometimes if you might want to put like a mark on the ground so the kids know where they have to be to scan, but they'll just go by. There it is. Chewbacca's got one. Captain America's got one. Now remember that thing about the scan delay? Here comes Chewbacca. He didn't go very far. Oh, scan too soon. He's not allowed to scan. Okay,
And then
that's how that works.
you'll notice it will have the overall distance that they've achieved in the program so far. So that's why it's showing 32 and 14 miles. That's how far that they've gone total.
Mm-hmm.
And then their lap count will just be for that day. Another very important thing to know is you can have more than one device going at once as well.
Yes.
So
you can have as many devices as you want. However, again, don't use Wi-Fi in the field. Those devices aren't going to talk to each other. So you'll notice that Captain America has one on this device. If he goes to another device to scan, he's going to have one on there too. They will not talk back and forth. When you get inside and you sync them, the amount of laps the person ran will be correct. But outside, we kind of try to tell kids to go to the same device each time. You can color code them. You can have a different person standing there. The kids get used to that real quick, know where they're supposed to be. They'll scan, they'll get their numbers. They'll be able to see what they're doing for that day and what they've already done. Okay, let's stop scanning and go check out the data. Okay, we've stopped it. What did I say? Make sure you sync.
Always sync.
Always sync when you get back inside.
Another quick tip that people have done is, so on your camera, they've put actually like a little sticker that will have an arrow pointing to the camera, and that gives the students a place to aim every time as well.
Yep.
So if you've got your line on the ground, like Scott said, and then you've got your arrow on your camera, it should be moving pretty quick.
And let's face it, kids are a lot better at technology than most of us. If any of you happen to be my age, they'll pick it up a lot quicker than we will. All right, let's go back to Easy Tally, the online database, and we'll take a look and see what our kids did today.
So you want to make sure that you choose the program that you scanned in. We were in fall 2019, and then you can select the class that the students were in. What was one of the names that we
Captain
scanned?
America.
All right, so here's Captain America right here.
You click on his miles.
And boom, right there, 10:18, 12:28 p.m. We've got a mile or lap on there. We know that it was ran today. You can go through and do that for all the same group of people there in the same program. You can break it down by team like we had talked about before, even grade level up there. Our participation tab over here, you can see there was our 2 that participated for today. You can break it down by the other weeks that they have participated also. And then you've got your print button here also. You can print any of those tabs that you need to, your awards list, which we'll go over again in a second, and then our certificates like we had talked about before. Let's look at the awards again real quick, if you want to give them a rundown, Scott.
Okay, in the awards tab, that's where you're going to see what kids have, what you've set up and what kids have awarded. Now, obviously, we've done this many times, so they've won a lot of awards. You just check them off as you go through. So let's take a look at Captain America there. Look at all the awards he's won. Let's say he had one. Let's unclick the unclick the full one there. So it'll come up as a blank like that. You say, oh, well, he's won that. He's got that 4-mile award. We need to click it.
Click it back.
And there it goes.
Now
see, he's got it.
And you can see the trophy icon disappeared because all of his are marked already. So if you went in here and you clicked on the trophy, you can mark these as given or remove them. You can also reprint your certificates on here as well. So that will all be very helpful. And like we talked about, you can do your school awards list here. I could click this. I'll do a new page after each class. Here's all of the awards that need to be given. You can see that's why I've got up my token totes there to keep it all organized, because I've got a ton of them. Download that PDF. Open it up, and there you go. Now you know all of the people that need to have awards. And then when you go back, a really neat thing, you click off of this, you click cancel, and it's going to ask you, do you want to mark off all awards that have been given out, presented to the students? And you can hit OK, go back up to your awards, and most of them are going to be marked off. The ones that are not going to be marked off, those are your certificates. It wants you to physically print those, and then it'll mark those off for you once those are printed. It doesn't want you to miss a step, so just watch your back there. All right, so do you want to go to the stats next? And show
Let's look at stats. This is where your data is. This is what you're going to use to show your principal, your kids, your parents, your school board, how your kids are doing, how they're improving over the course of the year.
All right, so one thing, just like the awards that keeps them motivated, is keeping them updated, like Scott was saying. So you've got your leaderboards here, and this is something that some of the schools that Scott and I had visited have been doing. They'll have a bulletin board, and they'll just print off these leaderboards and put them right up there. It's that simple. It takes them just a few minutes each day.
Yep.
Keeps the kids interested because they want to be up on that list.
Oh yeah.
You can break it down in many ways, but that's the leaderboard there.
Go back to the stats. Let's take a look at our reports.
Right.
So we have a whole stack of reports here, and say we wanted to show the laps for this week. Click on laps, find the class you want them from, select the dates, get the report, and it downloads into a PDF file. And you can hand that over to your school board and say, see, my kids did this day. Or this is how, for parent-teacher conferences, you can show, here's where little Joey is, and here's where little Scott is.
And here's how far they've came since they started the program.
Exactly.
You can go ahead and compare results and see how well that they're doing. All right.
I think that's an awful lot of information for one day. We'll take some questions now if you'd like. This may really seem kind of overwhelming that we've kind of thrown all this at you at one time. Don't worry about it. Once you get in and start playing around, you're going to find out that it really is easy to use.
And speaking of not worrying about it, I will show you here real quick. We do offer free support with your subscription.
Yep.
So one thing that we like to point out is these question marks here. If you were to click on one of those on any of these pages, it's going to get you up to some FAQs of even that page that you're on. Class sheet, how do I navigate it? How do I edit a student name? Those are going to help you out. You're also going to have down here in the bottom right corner our live chat, and that will, if I were to type into here, I could go ahead and ask a question if I needed to and get an immediate response. As long as you're in here from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through about 5 p.m. or so.
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Yep, we're in Michigan. Then
if it's outside of those hours, you can see we have an FAQ page. You can click on that, and there's FAQs. You can click on there and get all kinds of information too.
And you can even search in it if you need to.
And remember, with your paid subscription, you will have a year's worth of support. Okay? You never have to pay for support. Unlike some other programs, support is always free. The other things you get with this is you can print as many of those QR cards as you would like. Okay? You're self-printing them on your paper. You can print them as many as you want. There's never a charge to print a QR card for yourself. Also, if there's an update or any new versions that come out during that time, those updates and new versions are free. You don't have to pay for an upgrade. Okay? All right. That's some of the benefits. Let's show them. We were doing this, just talking about cards for a second. We do offer cards, or hard cards. Some people have asked about that. That is one of the hard cards. We saw them scan earlier. And we do offer those. They start at about 40 cents a piece, and we can print those for you if you'd like. And kids can use them from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade if they'd like. Here's the where you can find it online. Give you some price breakdowns. And you can always call me and ask me, and we can talk prices too. Okay.
Here's just a few of the other items that we have similar to the cards. We've got our slap bands, the stand, the pack. So those will all help you get through. And then, of course, like we had mentioned, our awards. That's the big segment of today. Toe Token's the #1 Run Club Award in America. We've got all kinds of styles. They are very effective. Kids will love them. And you'll have a good time just giving them out and watching their expressions when they receive those.
They really do work. Like, as I said earlier, I actually ran a mileage club elsewhere before I came to Fitness Finders. One of the reasons I wanted to come here is because I really believed in the program. It really helped kids. And they go crazy for toe tokens. They're just, it's a badge of honor. And that's a prime motivator for them right there. Okay, I think we've touched on just about everything.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions? Let's see. Okay, how many people can you have scanning? You can have as many people scanning as you want. So if 500 parent volunteers show up and they all have EasyScan 2 on their phone, they can all scan. Or if you have 5 iPads, you can have all 5 iPads scanning at one time. Just make sure you sync it when you go back inside. Conversely, this is going to be the next question. How many students can you have? You can have up to 1,500 students per program. So you don't need to buy, I know some of our competitors will say, well, you're capped out at 250. So if you've got 265 kids in your school, you have to buy another program. No, we'll handle up to 1,500 kids per subscription of EasyScan. So you guys will be good to go on that. Okay.
Right. Another question that we've got here. So with the programs, you can advance the students from year to year. We actually did, that was our segment last week, how to advance the students. So
Yep.
If you do have a question about that, just email scott@fitnessfinders.net. That's 2 T's on Scott, and he can send you the link to that one last week. But basically what you'll do is go to Edit My School Programs, create a new program, and it'll ask you to base it off of last year's or start from scratch. You'll base it off of last year's, and you'll be able to advance your students, and that will make it so you can keep their same card from year to year.
And when you advance them, you have the opportunity to either save their mileage so they continue building on it, or to start afresh. Now, no matter what you do, that old program is going to stay, so you'll be able to see what they did in the program from last year. It's not going to disappear. You can archive that if you'd like, and that data is always there for you to go back to and show, say when Joey was in kindergarten, he did, 10 miles for the entire year. By the time he got into 5th grade, 17 years later, he did, he was doing 100 miles a year. Okay. Any other questions?
Looks like that's it.
Looks like that's it for today. You're right. Thank you for joining us. Again, I'm Scott.
I'm Joey.
And we really appreciate you listening to us. And any other questions you have, feel free to call us, 800-789-9255. Email us, scott@fitnessfinders.net or joeyneal@fitnessfinders.net. We're always here to help. We pride ourselves on our customer service, and let us help you, okay? Have a great afternoon and a terrific weekend.
Thank you.